Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this thank you card with sunflowers that I have created from the Artistically Inked set. You'll see there is no sunflower in this set, but if you use the leaves and layer them over each other, you absolutely get a sunflower. The other option is to do it as a Christmas card and make it a poinsettia. So I'm going to make the sunflower version in this video today. I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of what else you could do with the stamp set. So I've already pre-done the thanks. It is stamped in soft suede, and I've used some Daffodil Delight with the dots just to liven it up a little bit. But let's get going on how to actually make the card. So I have a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece of the basic white, a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of Daffodil Delight. So I just get that narrow border, and then a North American Standard card base as a portrait open in the basic white. So I also have a tip. I'm going to do the centers just slightly differently in the demo and give you a quick tip and trick to just make it that much better. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Daffodil Delight. And when I did this, I played with doing the center in Mango Melody as well. But what I found was I quite liked it, just the different variations of the Daffodil Delight by overlapping. So I started kind of off to the side, and you just stamp it down. And you come back in, and I try and line up the bottom of the leaf points, just so you're overlapping. And I'm turning the paper all the time so that I can line it up. And you just keep overlapping and lining up. And I try and get it so that I can see the center of the flower that petal I've just stamped in the middle. In this case, if I overlap more, I'm going to create too much color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now put one just slightly offset. And then I'm going to come in like this and finish off like that. So there is one sunflower done. And to do the ones in the corner, I always start kind of where I want the flower to end up. And then I can work with going into the corners and stamping off the edge of the paper so that I can control where the flower ends up. And it's just literally lining up that stem in the center and then overlapping. I'm going to do one more up in the corner here. And I say just keep overlapping, turn the paper if it's easier. The paper does get quite saturated with ink, so if you're turning it, especially if you're doing the cherry cobbler on the poinsettia version, you want to make sure you don't put your fingers in the ink, because it will still be a little bit wet. And then if you put your fingers down on the page, you're going to transfer a little bit of color from your hand onto the card. And you don't necessarily want to do that. Okay, and let's just pop a couple of petals in the bottom corner here. And I think we're going to be good with that. I might actually, on this one, I might just pop a couple of leaves in the top corner here as well. So again, whatever turns your fancy with these, however you want to make it happen is what you need to do. I used Granny Apple Green to do the dots, and this is actually the centers, like what you can use for the flower centers. And I just popped them in randomly all over the card and just filled in some gaps. I did the greeting in the soft suede. I played with using different colors for the greeting, but I liked the way the soft suede kind of popped up, and then I just added some color with these dots in the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to pop one more up there. Okay, now when I did the centers on the demo card here, I just used the center from the stamp set here in soft suede, and I just stamped it down. And I liked the effect, but I thought it might look a little bit better if they were a little 3D, because this is put on with dimensionals. But when you stamp this onto a piece of scrap paper and then die cut it out, you get the white edge around it. So when you put that in the center of your flower, you know, have like a white edge that you don't necessarily want. So what I did is I just stamped the leaves in the Daffodil Delight, a whole bunch on a scrap piece, and then I die cut them out. So they end up with a Daffodil Delight border around them, but I still have the depth of color. I was thinking I would just stamp on the Daffodil Delight and cut them out, but I wanted the variation in color still. So when I put them on, I don't have that white edge. So it blends right in with the flowers without that edge. So let's build the card. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal to put this onto the mat, which is again 5 1/4 by 4 in Daffodil Delight. And the card front is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So this again, really narrow border. I've been doing the narrow border cards a lot lately. So pop that down, and then I'm going to do the same on the card front. And there's a, it is again, just a slightly narrower border. Actually, we're okay on this one because I've cut it down to start with. So it's standard 5 1/4 by 4 border. Just drop it down. We're going to dimensionalize now. So we'll dimensionalize the thanks. You could make it a happy birthday. You could make it hello. On the Christmas card, I used the warm wishes for a happy Christmas from the Best Year set. And then you can just decide where you want to put the greeting. Keeping in mind, I'm going to be dimensionalizing the flower centers. So I think I might actually just wait and put this on after I've dimensionalized the centers. So I'm just going to dimensionalize these and pop them on. They're being difficult this morning. And just trying to decide which way up they look best. I think it's that way up. So I'm going to put that one there. And we will do another one here on this one in the center like that. Sometimes I look at the stamps and I think, oh, this is the right way up. And I feel like there's a right way up and a wrong way up. Other people don't see the same thing, so you feel free to do whatever you like. But see, that is the flowers dimensionalized, the centers dimensionalized versus just flat on the page. Both look fine. I like them a little bit more dimensionalized. So now we can decide where we're going to put the thanks, and I think I am just going to pop it in right here. Make sure it's lined up. So there we go. There is the final card with your tip about doing the center so that you don't have the white edge around them, and also the option to do it as a poinsettia for Christmas. So thank you so much for watching today, and let's create together again soon.